Not you. Not you. What? I'm slower because yeah. Nope. Dodge. 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 Hey y'all, welcome back. I know I might be a little late posting this video since Hades 2 already came out, and I'm saying that in quotation marks. But I've really been busy. To be even more blunt, I had sunk a lot of hours into this game on my Steam Deck, but when I started playing on my laptop, it seems like the data didn't sync properly, so I had to start from the beginning again. Anyways, it was a whole mess. But before we get started, I want to stress that this isn't a review, since technically the full game hasn't released yet. And I'll be sure to only show footage of up to the second map area, not including the final boss, in case there are a few people out there who still haven't bought it and are waiting to watch it or something, or play it. You know, I don't want to spoil that surprise for them. But, you know, without further ado, let's get on to the video.
We shall have to do this again some other eve.
In Hades 2, we play as Melinoe, a minor goddess in the underworld who turns out to be the daughter of Hades and sister of Zagreus. From there, the story is pretty straightforward. We are tasked with seeking out and destroying Kronos, the Titan of Time, who has done something to our family. Like the previous game, we go through different map areas while meeting and interacting with various Greek mythological figures in our quest to reach our family and end Kronos. Again, we're being aided by different figures in mythology. This time, instead of Nyx, we have Akati, we have Nemesis, and a couple of other characters to help us out and prepare for our quest. Damn.
What a chop.
When you first launch Hades, you'll be struck by how familiar the vibe is to the original. The spawn area and characters, while new, are still reminiscent of the original game, and stay true to form with the theme of Hades. Like Hades, our spawn area is a place for us to interact with our allies and use resources acquired on runs to purchase upgrades or unlock perks that can aid us in future runs. Throughout the game, we're met with familiar faces from the Olympian and Chthonic gods, and just like with Zagreus, the gods are interested in helping us fulfill our mission. Boons return in Hades 2, and offering nectar to the gods will lead to a ring that in turn represents a certain perk you can carry with you on runs. The art style remains roughly the same, with some minor presentational differences, but I'm not an art major, so don't hold me to that. I'm just saying the artwork continues to be great, and the music is also great. Sadly, there is no Orpheus, or, you know, not that I've seen so far, but the resident singers of Hades 2 are definitely worth drowning for.
That song again.
Fight mechanics are very similar to the original game, which is nothing for me to complain about, as boon, weapon, and perk choices can drastically influence runs. You can use the environment to get kills, and the farther along you progress in the maps, the more difficult it'll be to manipulate the environment to your benefit. Hades is all about high risk, high reward. You're encouraged to die, and with every run through, you'll learn more and more about making your runs last longer and be more entertaining.
Blast those sirens.
Never forget though, always prioritize the hammer. The charm of this game is in every corner of the various maps, and the dialogue is as engaging and entertaining as the previous game. I don't know who in Supergiant is hiring these voice actors, but whoever they are, someone, please get them a raise. They're doing a fantastic job fighting these people. In fact, the entire sound design of the game is phenomenal, and honestly, despite the game not technically being completed, what Hades 2 offers you right now is by and large better than any of these other AAA games. I'm looking specifically at you, Assassin's Creed. But I'm getting ahead of myself. After all, these were just similarities. There are also a number of differences to make Hades 2 unique from its successor.
Then why don't you relieve me of one of these innumerable gifts the others offered in vain? Then beat it.
Alright bro, say less. Differences. Melinoe is a skilled warrior like her brother, but her skill sets make her arguably a little more powerful than Zagreus. Specifically, Melinoe's new magical abilities, aptly named Magic with a K, that enable her to manipulate time. It's a fitting skill set she needs to defeat the Titan of Time, and it's represented by this blue bar above her health bar. She can use her new abilities to slow down enemies, hold them in place, and even incorporate them with her new weapons to apply them in combat. Speaking of combat, Hades 2 is all about mobility and speed. Combat in this game feels more fast-paced. Enemies will rush you and follow you around from the beginning, and certain enemies will have abilities that cut off sections of any arena you're in, and it makes maneuvering just a lot more trickier. Thankfully, Melanoi's abilities and her new run mechanic make every enemy encounter easier to handle. Her powers with magic and her time manipulation abilities are definitely necessary to handle these run-throughs. However, it feels like Hades 2 is more likely to punish you for any mistake you make than its predecessor. After all, unless you manage to unlock certain perks or rings, your magic abilities are in limited supply, and when it's gone, Melanoi is unable to access the full extent of her time abilities, especially with her weapons. I found myself prioritizing increasing my magic over health because without those powers, boss encounters are just incredibly difficult. Every new map holds itself apart from the original and makes exploration fun. Certain sections have their own unique design that give you a fresh take on the world in Hades that doesn't mirror the first game, but also stays true to the theme of the original. In fact, I think the third region in this game is especially unique and probably my favorite map area from either game. Finally, we are introduced to the remaining Olympians we missed from the last game, like Hephaestus and Apollo, as well as a couple of others that I won't mention. Another difference in this game is resources. There are a number of new resources in the game, each serve a different function, unlocking or upgrading certain game mechanics that will make your runs more successful. For example, Ash lets you unlock Arcana cards, and each card gives you a certain perk or boost that you can take with you in your runs. These stay with you always, even if you die. Then you have Psyche, which lets you increase the amount of Arcana cards you can hold. Now, certain Arcana cards take up more space, so you have to consider your choices carefully. Unlike Ash, Psyche, and Nectar, other resources in Hades 2 will require you to use specific tools to harvest them, and you can only take one tool per run. Flowers and plants are used to unlock incantations, which are changes you can make to the game that are indefinite. And you can even plant some in your own little miniature garden. Melanoi has access to a couple of new weapons that each are perfect in certain use cases, especially when you're using them with your magic for its specific abilities. I won't dive into them since I haven't really had a chance to try them out since I lost all my data, but suffice it to say they're really fun, especially when you use your magic with them. My favorite though by far is definitely the axe. It's a big boy and it really slows you down, but you are so goddamn powerful, it is broken. I love it. Lastly, the story of Hades 2 is also different. Yeah, you have the story of a child trying to get to their family, but it's not the same as with Zagreus. The best way I can describe it is that it's equivalent to God of War and God of War Ragnarok. Whereas the first game of God of War felt more like a personal story about uncovering family secrets and resolving familial issues while coming to terms with them, this game feels like Ragnarok in the sense that the stakes are higher and you're working towards a greater goal with, a bigger bad guy and more allies, more powers. However, the character of Melanoi and her reasoning for the story and her choices and her actions keep the story grounded in the way that still mirrors the vibe we got from Zagreus. So Melanoi is still a character we like, we enjoy, and I personally really like Melanoi. So for Zagreus, smooth-tongued devil and all, but Melanoi is also really fun, and I do enjoy playing as her. Supergiant definitely has done a great job delivering on their promise of a sequel to Hades, and I'm so far completely satisfied and excited to see what the new updates and full release will bring to this game. No. How do you? I don't know how to escape that, man. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. All right, here we go. Thanks for watching, guys. These are just some of my quick thoughts on Hades 2. I know it seems like a review, but I feel that the difference between a review and quick thoughts for me is that I would be more critical when doing a review. Usually I don't have time for reviews anyways with games because I really have no time. I barely have time to play, but that's why I never really do them. Unless it's a film or TV show, I have time for those, Hades, man, Hades has a special place in my heart. Not just because it's a great game, but I'm a huge fan of Greek mythology. And whether it's a book, movie, or show or a game, I'm always looking to dive into that world of mythology, especially Greek mythology. That's why I loved God of War so much when I played it. I had to borrow my friend's PS5 to get it, but you know, it's that Norse mythology. It was just great. More than that though, I think Hades is the first game I played since forever that was specifically a shooter or an RPG or like a Nintendo game. And honestly, it opened me up to trying out a whole list of different game types that I've never even would consider trying before, like Baldur's Gate 3, Cult of the Lamb, Lethal Company, games that I never even would consider playing in my life that I always thought would just look boring and I wouldn't try. I'm really open to trying these out now. I'm definitely going to keep on playing Hades 2 now that my schedule is getting less intensive. And I'm considering, and I'll probably do it, gonna post my full run through when I finally beat Chronos, because I got to Chronos at one point, but kill my ass. But I had him. I definitely had him. It was crazy. You know how Hades beat. You just randomly will figure out a crazy combo that's really powerful that'll get you really far. Not even expecting it. It happened to me. I got to Chronos on like 10th time, and I was like, oh, and it was he killed me obviously, but it was crazy. I lost that progress though. Anyways, yeah, I'll probably gonna post my full run through when I finally get it. And until then, I want to thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all for being here, and have a good day. Peace. Oh, these are Hestia. I thought they were Hephaestus. Oh, actually, these might be like the hammer.
In the name of Hades.
I'm not doing that. I might do that. How much health do I have left? Oh man, I don't know. 25. Nah, I can't do that. Hell nah. That'd be good though.
The force of fire.
I would have done it.